Okay guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to cover the DJI Go 4 application with you and just go over some of the basics, which you're going to see when you launch the application. This is a screenshot that you would see from your phone once it's launched, and I just wanted to cover, this is probably one of the more important items, because when you're working with your drone or flying your drone around, the first thing you see after you launch it is obviously going to be the screen here, and you want to have some understanding of what all the icons are telling you. So let's just start in the upper left hand corner here and work our way around. So this item 1, the system status right here, in flight, you're going to see that this icon indicates that the aircraft flight status and will display various warning messages. So you might see this bar as red, you might see it as green, you might see it here as yellow, you might see it in ATI mode, which means there's no GPS connection. If there's no GPS connection, then certainly you don't want to fly in that mode. It doesn't have the GPS, and you want to wait till you have a good GPS signal. So you're going to see all that in the upper bar here. What you're looking for is a nice steady green, and I'll show you what that looks like in a moment, but a nice steady green indicator here, and that'll get things started. So these are the first things you're going to look for when you launch this application. And so the next thing we're going to look at is, move to the right here, is where's number 2 at? I didn't even see a number 2 on here. I guess we're going to go to number 3. They got number 2 way down here. All right, well, let's just work our way around. Number 3, the battery level indicator. The battery level indicator provides the dynamic display of the battery levels. The colored zones on the battery level indicator represents the power levels needed to carry out different functions. So again, this is your battery level here. It's right along the bottom of the system status line. You're going to see it kind of work its way down, and as the battery moves closer to wherever your setting is to get warnings, if your return to home point is set, it'll start to give you warnings, and you can disengage the return to home point if you've set one, hopefully you have, or let it return to home as preset in the application. We're not going to get into too much detail in all the settings at this point. I just want to cover the basics of, again, the various icons you're going to see on this main screen, and then I'll put together another video that might go into some more detail as far as the actual settings and dig in a little deeper. But this is probably the most important thing to know before you fly your drone. Be familiar with this screen. So the next item you're going to see here is your number 4, the flight mode. So if you see the line here, so your flight mode, the text next to the icon indicates the current flight mode. Tap to configure the main controller settings. These settings allow you to modify flight limits and set gain values. Number 5, the GPS signal, shows you the current number of connected GPS satellites, and white bar indicates adequate GPS signal. So you definitely want to see a signal indicator here for GPS. The next one, number 6, is a 3D sensing system status. Tap this icon to enable or disable features provided by the 3D sensing system. Number 7, right here, is going to be your Wi-Fi settings. Tap to enter your Wi-Fi settings. Number 8 is going to be your battery level. This icon shows you the current battery level. Tap to view the battery information menu, set the various battery warning thresholds, and view the battery warning history. Number 9, these 3 dots. This is one that I access regularly, one you want to be familiar with. These 3 dots here to the right, these are your general settings. Tap this to enter the general settings menu for settings, metrics, enabling live streaming, and disabling flight routes, and so on. You're definitely going to want to be familiar with this one here. It's definitely something that you'll use. Number 10 down here This is your gimbal slide. It displays the pitch of the gimbal. Number 11 up here. This is your photo video toggle. Tap to switch between photo and video recording modes. Number 12. This is your shoot record button. Tap to start shooting photos or record video. This will turn different colors, red, white, depending on what you're shooting. Camera settings, number 13 right here. You're going to go into that to change between your manual and auto camera settings. Number 14 down here, your playback. Tap this to enter playback pages and preview photos and videos as soon as they are captured. Number 15, flight telemetry. This is displayed. This area displays flight information such as flying speed. Number 16, virtual joystick. Tap this to display the virtual joystick to control the aircraft via touchscreen on your mobile device. If you have the remote controller hooked to this, you're not going to need that. I use the remote controller. Works much better than the virtual joystick. Number 17, intelligent flight mode. Tap this to select intelligent flight modes. This is going to get into your different hand commands, gesture mode, follow me mode. Some of the other modes are within there. Number 18 is the smart return to home point, indicating RTH procedure. Tap to have the aircraft return to the last recorded home point. And you're going to set the home point within your settings before you launch. But again, not getting into that at this stage, just understanding these icons. Number 19, auto takeoff and landing. Tap this to initiate auto takeoff or landing. So when you're launching your drone, the first thing you're going to do when you come in here, obviously after you set your return to home point and make sure everything is lit green, ready to go, you're getting a good signal, good GPS, everything's looking good. This is where you're going to take off. Hit that to take off. And then number 20 is back, which will just take you out of the app and return to the initial screen. So there's a lot of different icons on here. There's a lot to know. There's a lot to see. The SPARK itself is actually easy to fly, but the more you fly it, the more you're going to know what each one of these are doing and how to set all the, there's a ton of features in here. There's tons of things you can play with and tune and tweak, kind of get it out of the auto settings. And the more you learn each one of these settings and what they do, the more familiar you'll be with the SPARK. And I think you'll enjoy yourself a little bit more once you get into some of the more cinematic shots, things like that. It's going to make for a much nicer shot. So I'm going to put the link to this tutorial. It's actually off of the DJI website. I'm going to give you the link below. So if you need more detail about this, you'll be able to find it for quick reference. But I hope this helped. Just a quick visual representation of what you're going to see. If you're like myself, you don't always like reading through all the manuals. So I hope you found this useful. If you did, please click that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll post more. I think this in itself is a lot to absorb in a future video, but wanted to give you the basics for the DJI Go 4 app. Have a good one, guys.